What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here and we are live for Sports Wars Sunday. Coming off a big UFC 313, coming off more LeBron James controversy involving Stephen A. Smith, who, to be honest, acted like LeBron acted like a beta. Stephen A. Smith acted like a beta. Just betas all around when it comes to LeBron James and Bronny and Stephen A. Smith. And we also got some NFL news. The quarterback carousel in the NFL just got more complicated than we already thought it may have been. But we'll get into all of that stuff. Beardo, how's it going?
Yeah, man, we had a good watch party last night over on Geeks and Gamers Locals. We caught most of the main card. The fights were good.
You didn't catch the best knockout of the main card, though.
That happens. That was the first of the main card, the first fight, and it was a spinning back kick.
Yeah,
fucking knocked the guy out
in the Ruffy Green fight.
Yeah, man, that happened early. I was like, just getting out of the shower, and I fucking hear the TV going off. That was an incredible knockout.
Yeah, this one right here. Watch this.
Right hand on Green, and it really didn't wake King Green up.
Ooh. Just gone. No need to jump on top and hammer him at all. He knew he connected, and he was gone. Just out like a fucking light.
Green up.
Got him right on the top of the head.
Yeah, and that was in the first round of the first fight of the main card, which was definitely the most exciting finish.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. And we'll get into a little bit of the main event a little bit later.
Yeah.
But John, go ahead. Go ahead, Beardo.
No, I was just going to say the Justin Gaethje fight was better than the Alex Pereira fight, but it was still a fun watch party. So if you guys are members over on Locals and didn't get to catch the fight, it's still up and posted. If you guys want a little, highlight recap of, what happened last night, you guys can go over there.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Justin Gaethje fight since he actually came into the UFC that was not entertaining to watch. I mean, sometimes he's got his shit stomped in, I guess that the Charles Oliveira fight, I think he lost in the first round with like a submission or something. But like he always is going to give a good performance, and usually someone's going to end up knocked the fuck out, whether it's him or the other guy. Yeah, Justin Gaethje fights are always good.
Yep.
John Matrix from Black and White Sports, how's it going, man?
Oh, good, man, good. Enjoying the weekend. Lots of LeBron James stuff to talk about, so I'm excited.
There you go. Zenny Biscuit in the chat for $5 says next Saturday is the Virginia Derby. Unfortunately, it'll be missing someone. Me. Good luck to all the teams. Well, why aren't you going, Zenny Biscuit? Isn't that in your neck of the woods?
Come on.
Derby for you. We need that. We need that play-by-play from our horse guru in the chat. Thank you, Zenny Biscuit. Chris Cran, LeBum needs a personal injury lawyer.
That's a good one.
Fuck LeBron. Mike Hill, speaking of LeBron, he pulled his groin during the game against the Celtics last night.
That's true.
I'm going to be real. It didn't look like much. And we're going to talk about LeBron in a little bit, kind of piggybacking off of that stuff. Piggybacking off of the Bronny stuff and then the game against the Celtics last night, which the Celtics took very seriously. And LeBron bowed out pretty early with that groin injury. Groin injuries are weird, right? They can be strange, but it didn't look like much happened with what they're saying was the cause of the groin injury. But we will get into that. You said right before we went live, Beardo, that an old pass rusher cut from the Buffalo Bills, right?
Yep.
Von Miller officially released.
Done.
Von Miller released from the Buffalo Bills. Yep.
How does that affect their Super Bowl window?
I don't know. He was kind of a non-factor.
He's old, man.
He's old. He didn't get very many snaps on defense last year. So I don't think it affects the Bills all too much, really. You can get a guy who's younger, who's better, who's faster. Probably cheaper, too. So I don't think it affects the Bills all that much.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting old. He's at the point where they were putting him in when he was healthy. They were putting him in there for a couple plays. But I see Will from Game On Sports News and Picks in the chat. What's up, Will?
What's up, Will?
He joined you guys on the locals watch party last night, right?
Yep, he was there.
Yeah. Well, we might as well get straight into that. And the biggest thing, obviously, was going to be the big title fight between Alex Pereira and Ankalaev. And I think that a lot of people knew this was going to be a tough matchup for Pereira going into the fight. Alex Pereira is, we looked at the numbers the other day, and it feels like he fights every 3 or 4 months because he has fought every 3 or 4 months the past couple. This would have been his 4th title defense. Did not work out that way. Let me see if I can go up right here. Here we go. Let's share the screen. And I think overall, this is not the result that the UFC wants to have, just being perfectly honest. I think that Dana White and the UFC would have loved if Pereira had won this. He is one of the most popular and probably most marketable guys they have who's actually active right now. And like, Ankalaev is good, but he's not somebody that people are going to like fall in love with and going to be a big draw.
He's not marketable as Pereira.
Yeah, he is not nearly as marketable as Pereira. And I want to actually see, I had a bookmark in here of Dana White reacting when he read the scorecard. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Let me pop this in. Dana saw the scorecards and was not happy. And this is the scorecards right before the announcement actually gets made official. And look, usually I say to beat the champ, you got to actually beat the champ. I think that Ankalaev probably won the fight. I think it was questionable. I think Pereira won the 1st and 5th rounds. I think the 3rd round, probably a coin toss. I was a little shocked it wasn't a split decision and was a unanimous decision. I watched it all after I knew the result, and I watched the replay in the morning. You were watching it live with a bunch of other people. What was you guys' perception of the fight as you were watching?
Yeah, Ankalaev, he controlled the middle of the fight, and there was a point, it was either in the 2nd or 3rd round, where he really stung Pereira, and if Pereira didn't get saved by the bell there, if there was some more time on the clock during that round, I think that Pereira was going to go down because he really fucking got him hard. That's kind of it. Kind of like what you said, Pereira, 1st and 5th round, but the middle rounds, Ankalaev really controlled the fight.
Yeah, but the thing is, he controlled it basically with just, pushing Pereira up against the cage as opposed to actually taking him down or anything. I think a lot of us thought there would be a little more wrestling in this fight. There was no wrestling in this fight because no one got taken down in this fight.
Right.
You see the control number there from Ankalaev, but it was all just kind of up against the cage. Look at the takedowns. Pereira stuffed all 12 takedown attempts. And
a lot of boos when they were up against the cage and they were, kind of like hugging it out. And I guess you could say grappling with each other against the cage. There was a lot of boos in the crowd because people wanted a striking match.
I think that there's no doubt in my mind. Well, Pereira can do anything he wants, but I 100% think that he is going to take the rematch at the first possible opportunity. Dana White even basically said, what's up next? He said, yeah, probably a rematch. And I think that Pereira's earned that, obviously. It's not like he got fucking knocked out. He's had 3 straight title defenses at light heavyweight. There's been a lot of speculation of obviously him moving up, but I think Pereira needs the rematch, and Ankalaev did what he had to do, and you might not have liked the way that he won. I didn't really like the way that he won, but he did end up winning, unanimous decision. He's your new light heavyweight champion. I think Dana desperately wants to get that belt back on Alex Pereira.
Yep.
And, I don't know. I was shocked. I saw one scorecard had it 46-49, which is basically given Ankalaev the 5th round as well. I don't think he did anything in the 5th round to deserve that. It was all about how you judge that 3rd round. That's what I thought the fight was going to come down to.
Was it the second or third round, Ryan, when he stung him towards the end of the round and it looked like Pereira was going to go down?
The second round, he absolutely dominated that second round. Pereira came out and won the first round. Really, no decision, no like controversy. Like I think he won the first round. The second round, Ankalaev dominated him, and that is when that stick right at the end with like 1 or 2 seconds left that really rattled him, that wobbled him. And who knows if that had happened, 2 minutes in, how that round ends up. But Pereira definitely got wobbled in that one.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I would imagine we're going to see this same fight about 4 months from now, if I'm just being real.
Likely.
I think that's what we're going to see. Neither of these guys really got very banged up during the fight or anything like that. We know Pereira continues to Pereira can turn around really quick. But yeah, Ankalaev, your new UFC light heavyweight champion.
And even if Ankalaev isn't as marketable as Pereira, the UFC could definitely market a rematch to get the hype around Pereira again, to get that belt back.
And I see some people saying going up to heavyweight to fight John Jones. I've seen a lot of stuff about that, and obviously from the perspective of what would get a lot of eyes, yeah, Alex Pereira, John Jones would get a lot of eyes
for sure.
But
is John Jones dodging Tom Aspinall?
I mean, seems like it a little bit. Seems like it, but I don't know. I haven't paid a ton of attention to what's going on with John Jones, other than Dana White says he's going to be fighting next year or this year, maybe next year. But we'll see. John Jones does what John Jones wants. The thing is, he has all like the power, because if he just doesn't want to fight, he won't. You know what I mean? So I think he is. Jones better watch out for that Cespinol fighter. Who's Cespinol?
Last night on the live stream, I accidentally called Tom Aspinall Tom Cespinol.
Cespinol. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I quickly corrected myself after Will called him Aspinall. I'm like, did I just say his last name was Cespinol? Yeah.
Look, especially
easy mistake.
That's not one of the weirder ones, I guess. There are so many like foreign fighters in the UFC, and fucking Brazilians and Russians and fucking Muslim names and like all this shit. It's fucking hard to keep them straight sometimes. So it is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is. All right, Alex McCarthy, tweet Beardo all the Stephanie McMahon gifts. What's that about?
Dude, the locals chat, they love posting like all the hot women in WWE from the 90s and the early 2000s. And I knew about Stephanie McMahon, but I wasn't, super familiar with her talents. And so the locals chat last night was posting a lot of gifs of Stephanie McMahon, and now I'm familiar with her game, if you know what I'm saying.
There you go. Do you know that basically the storyline of how Triple H married her in universe? You got a lot of catching up to do then. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Oral B Surreal. WBC qualifiers are on their way. Let's get to 2026 already. World Baseball Classic. Is that what you mean? World Baseball Classic, I imagine. Oral B Surreal. World Baseball Classic can be fun as shit, dude. When it was in San Diego a couple of years ago, it was hype.
Yeah.
Our man Dom H. Listen, I told Dom
Nice.
Gave me his Yankees hat, this Yankees hat, and I told him I'd wear it at least for a little bit. So I'll put on the hat now that I know you're here, Dom. I already feel more retarded.
That looks good.
I already feel a little bit more retarded. But there you go, Dom, with my Yankees
for the 5.
hat. God, disgusting. I feel like a bandwagon bitch. Stephen De Leon for 2. We're on the right track. Bills Mafia. We're on the right track by releasing Von Miller, says Stephen De Leon.
Okay.
Zella Egby for 2. Pretty shocked it wasn't a split decision. I was a little too. I felt like the third round was going to be split. I didn't know who would win, but no, everybody graded the third round the same exact fucking way. Joe Man for 5. What up, fellas? Man, I watched that Celtics-Lakers game last night. LeBron looked like ass, not gonna lie. Absolutely no defense and wild flopping. Oh, yes. We got to talk about that a little bit. There was a big game last night. Here, let me move this over here. Move this over here. Okay. All right. Now we're ready to go. There was a big game last night. Celtics-Lakers. It's always going to be a big game between the Celtics and the Lakers. And the Lakers, look, they got LeBron, yet another perennial all-pro player to play with, or first-team all-NBA player, I should say, in Luka Doncic. Once again, LeBron gets all the help that he ever wants. And the Lakers have been on a tear lately. They absolutely have been. They're shooting up in the Western Conference rankings. Very crowded in the middle still. But they have been playing well. They go into Boston. They get beat. And LeBron James ends up getting injured. Now, LeBron James supposedly has a left groin strain. This is it right here. This is the play where see much where he would have strained his groin, but he was walking a little bit funny after that. Honestly, I think there's a better chance that he aggravated it during his acting. Insane bitch-made flop, which is what we always see from LeBron.
He should have been at the Oscars.
Right? Jason Tatum got called for a foul on this play.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He didn't even really touch him. Wow.
That's some of y'all, and by some of y'all, I mean all the retarded, stupid motherfuckers. That's some of y'all goat somehow. Look, he did catch him just barely on the chest, basically, with his arm as he was going by. There's nothing forceful about it, and it certainly didn't hit him in the fucking face. But this is LeBron, who gets beat on defense and does this. This is some of y'all's goat out there. Absolutely pathetic. But this is all. And there are some reports out there LeBron could potentially be sidelined for weeks. I don't think so. I think he was just fucking playing it up, to be honest with you. I think he might miss a game or two, maybe take a game or two of rest, but that's it. The bigger LeBron James story this week has been LeBron James confronting Stephen A. Smith about his son, about the things he said about Bronny, which in reality were the things that he said about LeBron James. This whole Bronny James bullshit is such a joke. And effectively, Stephen A. Smith has been critical of LeBron James for how he forced Bronny into the league, for how he forced Bronny into this publicity stunt. But let's be real. LeBron James is the one who should take all of the ownership over all the flack and heat that Bronny has been catching. Because LeBron is the one who 2 years ago sent out tweets saying that he's better than half the cats in the league right now. LeBron is the one who forced the Lakers to draft him. LeBron is the one who made the Lakers put him on the roster so they could make history together on opening night. And LeBron is the reason why Bronny is having one of the worst statistical seasons in the history of the NBA. That's it. And now you want to go up and stop people from talking about the NBA player that you have made into an NBA player? It's bullshit. And it's typical LeBron James bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, LeBron James, this is doing a timeout, I believe. This is actually doing a game.
Just during the game, yeah.
Walked up to Stephen A. and cursed him out. And Stephen A. really did expose a few things that this is probably, because it's not just LeBron, this man is Stephen A. He said there's other NBA players too that won't speak to him because of his criticism of Bronny. Stephen A.'s job is to be critical of players. Break it down. I mean, what is he going to say? Bronny's been great? He'd be lying. Bronny sucks. Even though Stephen A. said that, hey, he believes that Bronny has a chance, but he shouldn't be there right now. So Draymond Green doesn't want to talk to Stephen A. anymore. It's probably more than just that.
It's anybody attached to that little fucking group, right? The same people, like
the Clutch Sports players.
Yeah,
Don't want to
when
speak to
Channing
him.
Tatum went out there, Channing Tatum did the party line. LeBron's buddy put out the party line to go and attack the media for the way that they talk about LeBron and all that stuff. We've seen it over and over again, man. It's this cabal of little fucking queers that LeBron surrounds himself with and demands a loyalty from right before he stabs whoever it may be in the back at any given point in time.
Yeah. And LeBron has to know he's only hurting Bronny even more now, because other NBA players are not going to respect him. They're going to be saying, wait a minute, hold on. No one can criticize Bronny now, or they're going to lose access to LeBron. I believe that's what's happening right now. And that's going to do even more damage to the league, more than it already is damaged right now.
It's just, look, I get the instinct as a father to want to protect your kids and everything, but your kid who's 20 years old,
your kid's a grown man.
He's a grown man and an NBA player. And you have put him in this position, LeBron. You did it. You put him in this position, and it's a position that he doesn't really deserve. Bronny, in my opinion, should have stayed one more year in college at USC. Couldn't even get minutes at USC last year. Granted, he was recovering from dying of a heart attack, but couldn't really get minutes at USC last year and wasn't that great. If you're gonna make the Lakers draft him, you gotta at least keep him in the G League. And it seems like that has been the strategy they've taken. I don't know when the last time Bronny actually got minutes in the NBA was. And he's playing well in the G League, which is it's the fucking G League, okay? Isaiah Thomas is fucking doing really well in the G League too, and we know he's washed as an NBA player.
It's single A baseball. That's what it is.
Yeah, but that's where he should be. Instead of just coming off the bench in blowouts one way or the other, just for a PR stunt. And it's unequivocally what it is. It's a PR stunt. Stephen A. Smith, I certainly don't agree with everything this dude says and does, but he rightly called it out that it's a joke that Bronny's being used this way. And LeBron James has the audacity to come up to him and say, keep my son's name out your fucking mouth. Which is just pathetic, man.
But also Stephen A, man, I believe Stephen A was trying to walk the line a little bit too.
100%.
He was definitely holding back.
He was treating LeBron with kid gloves.
He was
treating LeBron James with kid gloves. If that had been almost any other NBA player who came up and did something like that,
he would have called him out.
He would have gone gloves off on first take. But instead, Stephen A goes on. He's like, "A long time about how I should speak to this."
Now, if you
was coming to me as a father, and I understand that. Not going to hold that against him.
Did you actually see the clip from his show? He tells you exactly what LeBron told him. Of course,
I don't know if I've seen the one from his YouTube show yet. No,
yeah, you need to go look at the clip on his YouTube show, because it wasn't Will Smith, but it was pretty close. It's out there, because he's going to tell you word for word what LeBron says, and of course he can't say it on first take.
Yeah, he said it's not suitable for FCC airways.
Yeah, it's too many F-bombs.
All right, Stephen A. Smith. No, not there.
Actually, I believe.
Stop fucking with my son. I think I found it.
Yeah.
It is from NBA Central, not Central. So had to make sure, Here we go. Let's listen.
He approached me during the game and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son." And I saw how furious he was. And I said, "We can talk about it later." "Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. I said, "All right, dog. Fine." And he walked away. That's all he said.
Dude, he's a fucking reporter. He's supposed to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think LeBron would be upset if he was glazing his son, Bronny? No, of course not.
I mean, what NBA analyst has not criticized an NBA player when they play bad?
Well, and you know what the thing is? It's not that people are actually being all that hard on Bronny,
They're being
right?
hard on LeBron, really.
I think almost everyone, even there's some people that feel Bronny has a nice fucking life. It's not like I feel sorry for him. But you understand that the reason he's in this position and getting this attention and in this spot he doesn't deserve is because of LeBron, right? So people are being far more critical of LeBron than they are of Bronny. And I'm going to be real. I think that's the problem LeBron James has. I think he's mad that people are being so critical of him. And that's what really is at the core of this. Because people aren't being overly harsh on Bronny. He's shooting 25% from the field, right? Which is one of the worst field goal percentages we've seen in the history of the league. Granted, on a very low amount of playing time, but it's also when the scrubs are in typically.
Yep.
So balance that however you will. People are criticizing LeBron for doing this to his son. That's what he's pissed about, I think. But I haven't heard the rest of it, so we'll let him finish.
I've spoken about this before. Matter of fact, I heard that not many, not all, but a few players were upset at me about that. I think one player in particular was Draymond Green, who I haven't spoken to since and has no desire to speak to me primarily because of this, I suppose. And I found out the way that I found out, which was last night.
There you go. Draymond's not talking to him either because Draymond's buddies with LeBron now too.
All those clutch sports guys, man.
It's just so gay. But it encompasses everything about LeBron. His ego can't handle it. He's fine with Stephen A. Smith praising him for years and years and years and years and fights with Skip Bayless. But now that he's criticizing him, he can't fucking stand it. During the game, goes over to confront him. Stop fucking with my son. Basically pulling a Will Smith. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Something's telling me these other media people, they're going to fall in line and not mention anything about Bronny when he plays back.
Yeah, maybe this was a message because, to be real, the media has turned. I think we're seeing for the past several years, there's been this continuous push for so many people to push LeBron James over Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. It's not deserved. It never should have been. And now as we see more and more revolving doors and getting yet another all NBA star like Luka Doncic in his prime to give to LeBron to play with, it was one of the things that a lot of people are like, man, come on. Can we revisit this for a second? This is embarrassing. And now you're at a point in time where current NBA players, as many people rank Kobe Bryant as the greatest of all time as LeBron. Now, many more have Michael up there, but percentage-wise, it's about even between LeBron and Kobe. It was not that way a couple years ago, and now it is. LeBron's losing ground. And maybe this is one of those shots across the bow to the media. If you're critical of me, I'm going to cut you the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Could be it.
Yeah.
I just saw something potentially about Myles Garrett.
Yep, I have it already pulled up.
Yeah, pull that up. I just saw in the chat.
Breaking news.
Myles Garrett. Yeah, go ahead.
So Myles Garrett requested a trade just a few weeks ago from the Cleveland Browns. Well, it looks like Myles Garrett is going to stay with the Cleveland Browns on a 4-year extension worth $40 million per year, and including $123 million guaranteed. He's going to be the highest paid defensive end in NFL history.
And that was just after Max Crosby signed a big deal too, right? With the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah, Max Crosby signed a big deal with the Raiders and now follow that up with this Myles Garrett. You know, it's funny because Myles Garrett wrote, hey, listen, I love this city. I love the Cleveland Browns and everything, but I want to win. I want to be competitive. That's what I care about. And so I'm formally requesting a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess money wins.
But money, yeah.
I guess he was fine with not winning once he got that big paycheck. And you know, reportedly there had been a lot of contentious, not even really back and forth. It sounded like the two sides weren't even talking to each other for quite some time. And the Browns executives refused to engage anyone in trade talks for Myles Garrett. And they held out long enough, offered him enough money. He says, okay, I guess I'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little surprising. When
he's a big time player though.
100%. He's big time. I mean, when he's healthy, he is a dominant force. Even when he's not healthy, he's still a force.
Right.
When he can actually be on the field. But I mean, congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. Making sure you hold fast to the 4-13 or whatever you're going to be this year. Congratulations, Myles Garrett, staying with the Browns for a long time, I guess.
Getting the bag, man. Him and Joe Thomas, great players getting paid for a shitty team. He really is the next Joe Thomas for the Browns.
They're gonna have to make space. They're gonna have to make space for signing Justin Tucker at some point too. So I got to watch that cap room.
Yep.
Yeah, that's breaking news right there.
Yep. Huge. Going to keep him in Cleveland past 2030.
Ackle P2, member for 9 months. Hail Sports Wars. Pereira versus Jones. Do it. If it's not for a belt, though, I guess, I don't know. Because I think Jones would, because Aspinall has the belt right now, technically, right? So John Jones would have to fight Aspinall to have the belt. Am I right in that?
I'm going to look it up. I'm not too sure.
Who has the UFC heavyweight belt? John Jones is the current UFC heavyweight champion, but isn't Tom Aspinall the interim champ, though? Yeah. Tom Aspinall is the reigning interim heavyweight champ after his victory against Pavlovich at UFC 295.
How does that make sense?
Defended the interim title against Curtis Blades at UFC 304.
Yeah, I'm seeing John Jones as the current heavyweight champion.
He is, but Tom Aspinall's the interim champ, which I think still is holding over from when John Jones was out, but they haven't fought yet. So you do have John Jones as the champ and Tom Aspinall as the interim champ, but don't they have to fight at some point?
I guess if John Jones doesn't fight him, the title would just be vacated. How in boxing you have to defend your title every so often, or else they're just going to strip it from you.
Yeah, and obviously John Jones, you never know if it's going to be some arrest that he got found with fucking cocaine, or if it's going to be a PED. There's a lot of things in John Jones' history, right? So I don't remember exactly what it was that he would have been out at that point in time for Aspinall to become the interim. But yeah, John Jones has not faced Tom Aspinall since he won the interim. So at some point that has to happen. I don't think you could do. People would love to see a Pereira Jones fight, but I don't know if you can justify it without him fighting Aspinall first, which is probably why everyone's talking about him ducking him.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. Cole Hauser for 2. Stephanie McMahon was hot. Hail, boys.
Hail, Cole Hauser.
Imagine being Vince McMahon and just using your daughter's tits as a selling point in your company, man.
In space.
Fuck. Yanks fan. Now Ryan can be the opening day starter. Hey, if you need somebody, I can probably get the fastball up to 70 right now. Make sure I warm up, or I'll throw my fucking arm out. But I could probably give you 70. I can give you a really lazy curveball. Yeah, there you go. Stephen DeLeon for 5. Who's going to have a worse season, the Giants, Cowboys, or Bears? Fuck LeBron. The Giants.
Probably the Giants.
The Giants. And, we might as well talk about this. We just talked about the breaking news we have over in the NFL. We had some other big shocking news that came down in the NFL a few days ago. I think it was actually on Friday evening, maybe, out of nowhere, because we know that there's a lot of quarterback situations that still need to be resolved. There's a lot of guys that are still available. We don't know where Sam Darnold's going to end up. We don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up. Kirk Cousins is now saying that he wants to be traded somewhere where he can be the starter. You still got like a lot of things in play. And obviously whoever's going to draft quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. What I didn't think is that the Seahawks would have to find a quarterback because it felt like they were staying pat with Geno Smith.
Yeah.
That's no longer the case because on Friday night, Geno Smith got traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Seahawks trading quarterback Geno Smith to Raiders in exchange for 2025 third-round pick. I didn't see this coming anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of potential linking of Russell Wilson potentially reuniting in Vegas with Pete Carroll. And then when DK Metcalf requested a trade, it felt like, okay, well, maybe there could be some interest with the Raiders, reunite those guys, whatever. Well, now maybe the Seahawks have pacified DK Metcalf because they moved on from their quarterback. But now they need a fucking quarterback. And now there's even talks emerging about Aaron Rodgers potentially truly following in Brett Favre's footsteps and going to the Vikings because we expected them to just kind of let Sam Darnold go and walk. But they have been seriously entertaining bringing Sam Darnold back. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now maybe they're considering bringing in a different veteran quarterback before they start and just go with JJ McCarthy. And maybe Aaron Rodgers might be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be wild to see what opening day looks like for the NFL, what opening kickoff looks like for all of these teams with all these quarterbacks going to different places.
Now, I'm curious if the Seahawks were shopping Geno Smith or if the Raiders reached out. They're like, is he available?
I don't know. Especially with Tom Brady being involved as an owner with the Raiders, it feels like there's always like linking one thing to another and this and that. Nobody had this linked. Nobody had the Raiders trading for Geno fucking Smith to, reunite there with Pete Carroll. But I don't know, man. Now I don't know where Russell Wilson ends up. I don't know if he's a starter.
Well, I saw a report yesterday or 2 days ago that Russell Wilson back to the Steelers isn't entirely impossible. That they're interested in bringing him back again on another 1 year.
After they missed out on Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ, we're ready to move on. Thanks for all the memories. Oh, we can't get this guy. This guy doesn't want to come here. This guy.
You know what? Never mind.
Hey, Russ. Hey,
yeah.
Hey, come back in here, buddy. We
Pretty
still got
much.
your parking spot.
Pretty much. And here's an interesting bet. What's the over-under on games or weeks, I guess, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings? What's the over-under on when he gets Kevin O'Connell fired?
Well, did Kevin O'Connell just win Coach of the Year? Who won it this year?
Was it Kevin O'Connell? I think it was.
It may have been, and I think it was probably, well deserved. I forget who exactly won it. I know he was obviously one of the front runners, and rightly and deservedly so. I don't think Kevin McConnell gets fired if they have Aaron Rodgers on a 1 year fucking deal, right? I don't think that would happen. But how hilarious would it be if that really did happen? And you still have your boy Daniel Jones. I don't know what Daniel Jones is going to do.
Yeah.
At one point, it seemed like the Vikings wanted to hang on to him, but I don't know what Daniel Jones, if he wants to go somewhere else and be a starter. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are probably Aaron Rodgers' best option. They were really good last year, and this is probably his last year. So if he gets with the Vikings, that's going to be his best shot to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Obviously, the Vikings were really, really good last year. They kind of imploded in that playoff game.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold did not look very good, but Sam Darnold had a great season. He's going to get paid for it. The question is, where is Sam Darnold going to go to the Seahawks now? That is one of the stories that is out there. Him potentially being connected to Seattle. Hell, maybe they bring Russ back. Maybe they bring old Russell Wilson back to Seattle.
I think Sam Darnold back to the Jets would be hilarious.
Oh my God.
So funny that it might actually happen.
Yeah, because you still got the Jets. You still got the Giants. Now, I do feel like it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point that the Giants are probably going to take a quarterback in the draft.
Unfortunately,
I know that's not
what
what
it's
you
looking
want,
like.
but isn't that what we've been hearing, Beardo?
Well, they were in the market for Matt Stafford. They were really interested in him. And I think that if the Giants landed Matt Stafford, we'd probably pass on a quarterback in this upcoming draft. But since Matt Stafford re-signed with the Rams, looks like Aaron Rodgers is being linked to other teams, although the Giants are still interested in Aaron Rodgers, and I would prefer Aaron Rodgers over a rookie. It doesn't look like it's likely for the Giants to get a veteran quarterback unless we sign like a Kirk Cousins or something. But even if we pick up Kirk Cousins, we're still going to draft a quarterback. Stafford and Rodgers would have been the only guys that we would have signed in free agency or traded for that we wouldn't have taken a quarterback in this draft. So it is looking like I've even heard stuff about the Giants trading up specifically just to get Cam Ward, which would be the most fucking retarded thing I've ever fucking heard. But we'll see. We'll see. The Giants probably are going to draft a quarterback, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, free agency starts in a couple days, basically. So might start getting hot and heavy pretty soon before the NFL draft. We'll see. You have to go full retard now, Ryan, and put on a Mets cap. Here, let's put this back on there. I should know. I'm retarded enough to love that shitty franchise, says B-Chain. A Mets hat, huh? Dylan Ramirez for Canadian 279. LBJ ruined the NBA. He will never be the GOAT. No, he's destroyed the NBA, 100%.
Yep.
Mick Walsh, Myles Garrett staying in Cleveland, $40 million a year.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. I would not have known that if I didn't see the chat talking about it. Myles Garrett making bank, deserves it too. Joe, man. Storm Shadow 3. Worthy's now ex-girlfriend tried to Chris Beard him. Credit to KC for not releasing him ASAP like Texas did to Beard. Watch out, fellas in Central Texas. Yes, we have to talk about that. And I did put it in the title today. If I can actually find out where I left all the information that I pulled up on it. Here we go. It seems, at least it did seem earlier today, we've seen a lot of Kansas City Chiefs in the headlines for all the wrong reasons in recent years. We saw what happened to Rashee Rice a few years ago, maybe even last year in the offseason. Well, now another rookie wide receiver found themselves in a little bit of trouble the other day, and that is Xavier Worthy, the speedster. Chiefs Xavier Worthy arrested on domestic violence charge in Texas. Now, there is more to this story that we are going to get to show you the full context and what's happened now, but these were the headlines that were going around yesterday. Xavier Worthy, a first-round draft pick and a key member of the Chiefs' 2024 playoff run, was arrested Friday for domestic violence. Worthy faces one charge of assault of a family or house member impeding breath and circulation, a third-degree assault charge. Charge refers explicitly to assault on a family or household member and is committed by intentionally, knowing, or recklessly impeding the normal breathing or circulation of the person by applying pressure to the person's throat or neck or by blocking the person's nose or mouth. Now,
in other words, he choked him out. Tried
yes.
to anyway.
Now, Xavier Worthy came out with a statement. Xavier Worthy's attorneys came out with a statement very quickly after that. We're aware of the allegation that led to Mr. Worthy's arrest. We're working with law enforcement to ensure they have the benefit of the total circumstances that led to this allegation. The complainant was asked multiple times over the last 2 weeks to vacate Mr. Worthy's residence upon discovery of her infidelity, which a private investigator has video evidence of.
Whoa.
She refused to vacate the residence, made a number of extortive efforts prior to resorting to this baseless allegation. The complainant further destroyed a room in the residence, scratched Mr. Worthy's face, ripped out parts of his hair, of which there's photographic evidence of. Mr. Worthy told law enforcement at the time he did not want to press charges against the complainant, will continue to cooperate with Williamson County. And a couple hours after that, and look, who knows? Somebody gets arrested. He said, she said. Attorneys are always going to put out stuff that makes it sound like their client didn't do nothing wrong because that's quite literally their jobs. However, a couple hours later, the news came out that, yeah, Xavier Worthy won't be charged despite being arrested and all these things that happen. He's not going to be charged after they saw the totality of everything that happened. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver will not be charged following his arrest Friday night for an alleged assault in Williamson County, Texas. The district attorney there told Austin American-Statesman on Saturday. The online records don't have any details of the arrest. The online court listing was updated to dismissed, declined later on Saturday. Williamson County DA said his office declined to charge Worthy after speaking with multiple witnesses, but will continue to evaluate the case. Now, obviously, then it leads to what the attorneys said, that, hey, they talked to witnesses and they probably corroborated Xavier Worthy's story. And it looks like he's in the clear for right now. But holy shit, Kansas City Chiefs players, star players for the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe start surrounding yourself with people who aren't fucking retarded, ratchet, hoes, or dumbass fucking gangbangers or whatever it is, who you continue to find yourselves in these types of positions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Chiefs are starting to remind me. Remember the old Portland Trailblazers? They call them the Jailblazers in the early 2000s. That's what the Chiefs are looking like. Boy, every offseason, their players get in trouble with the law every single offseason. It's wild, man.
You had Xavier Worthy. You had Kareem Hunt
a couple years ago.
Rasheed Rice.
Yeah.
Tyreek
Rice.
Hill. Tyreek Hill choked his fucking girlfriend in
Right.
college, right?
Jeez Louise.
And Rasheed Rice with the driving thing. It's like, man, you got millions of dollars and tens of millions of dollars ahead of you in your career. Stop hanging out with these fucking people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane to me.
A lot of these guys, man, they don't know how to leave their that past behind. They want to hang out with the same people they used to hang out with that were probably thugs back in the day. They don't learn, man. Those people are going to get you in trouble one day.
Yeah, or the John Morants who want to pretend and play act.
Yeah.
You know, who despite the fact that they
gangster.
never were that person, they're desperate to have the appearance that they are that person now. And we saw the trouble that got John Morant to in the NBA. Xavier Worthy, it sounds to me now that they're declining to charge him that there's a lot more to the story and that Xavier Worthy's attorneys probably were able to produce enough evidence and witnesses to counter whatever claim it was that Xavier Worthy just choked this girl out or whatever. But we will see if anything comes from it. It doesn't mean the case is closed. And it doesn't mean the NFL's investigation all of a sudden stops either. We've seen plenty of instances.
He can be in big trouble with the NFL still.
We've seen plenty of instances where no official charges were filed or charges were dropped, and the NFL still punishes people depending on what their investigators determine. But it definitely looks like there's much more to the story than just Xavier Worthy choked a bitch from what the initial stuff came out. But still, get your fucking heads out of your asses and stop hanging around people that put you in these types of situations.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. This was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend?
I don't
It
think
sounds
it
like
said. Sound like she was.
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. The lawyers kind of make it seem like she was cheating on him or something.
Man, Xavier
Yes.
Worthy, you could have fucking 3 girlfriends of high caliber. Stop messing around with this one fucking dumb bitch.
Yeah, that was in the statement from the attorneys, they basically say, hey, she was repeatedly asked to vacate after evidence of her infidelity was discovered, and a private investigator has video evidence of it. So sounds like they were a couple. He thought she was stepping out, hired a private investigator. Turns out she was. Said, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. And she refused to leave. I don't know.
What are you going to do?
We'll see. Maybe they'll put Xavier Worthy on the NFL exempt list. And they'll have to sign some other old ass wide receiver. I don't know. Where did I end up here? LeBron is the Apache of helicopter parents. Look, when I need to find it, I'm pretty sure Dave Portnoy tweeted it out not that long ago. No, hold on. Portnoy. Dave Portnoy. Can I find? Here it is. This was from almost exactly a year ago, or sorry, 2 years ago. March 6th, 2023. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit, lightweight hilarious. LeBron is the one who set all of this up for his son. LeBron is the one who named him LeBron James Jr. LeBron is the one who made such a fuss. LeBron is the one who said he's better than everybody in the league right now when Bronny was like a junior or senior in high school at that point in time, probably senior in high school maybe, before his freshman year at USC. This is all LeBron's fault.
He doesn't even realize he's harming his son.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants, I give him credit, for thinking, the best of his son, but he's doing harm to his son's future. Because everybody knows that Bronny hasn't earned anything he's gotten. And Lakers paying him a whole bunch of money for that 55th pick, fully guaranteed, to sit on the bench.
Bronny should just be a live streamer, a video game live streamer like he wants to. That's what he wants to do. He just wants to sit down and play Call of Duty with all these fucking celebrities. That's what he was good at. Just let him do that.
I think that Bronny has the capability to turn into a serviceable NBA player, right? Like, the expectations for him shouldn't be that he's going to be some fucking NBA all-star, some bullshit like this, right? He's a little too small.
He's too small. He can't shoot.
Yeah, he's too small, and he cannot shoot well enough to have any like type of real big impact. But he can be a serviceable role player for somebody somewhere down the line.
At best, he's a mild defensive specialist at best.
This
but
comment.
in today's NBA, man, if you can't shoot, you can't play.
Why is that so funny?
His heart isn't in it because he had a heart attack.
Oh shit! Yeah. Like, Bronny fucking died, bro. He fucking died. But hey, good job, LeBron, parent of the year. Burn for 5. Fuck that. Ryan signing with the Tigers. We can rotate him and Maida between school starts. I am available for signing if any MLB teams are interested in me, but I think that point is long gone. Taker for $5. We didn't even get the Raiders' third rounder, which would have been early 70s. We got one they acquired from the Jets, 92nd overall, the Las Vegas Seahawks. Yeah, it's basically a fucking fourth rounder.
Yep.
But I mean, it is just Geno Smith. Like, Taker loved Geno Smith too. Taker was always defending Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
Charles Barkley, Tommy Cutlett's greater than Philly Nail Painter. Bro, it is wild to me that Caleb Williams, while dealing with the worst head coach in the league and the worst offensive coordinator in the league, as voted on by league players or by players in the league, by the way, managed to have a rookie season where he had 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And everybody acts like he's the biggest gay bust alive. I cannot wait for the next couple years. Can't wait.
Yeah, the Giants re-signed Tommy DeVito yesterday, at least for one more year. So we have one quarterback on our active roster right now.
Need a practice squad guy. Stephen De Leon for 2. Bills need to try to go after Trey Hendrickson. There's been links between the Bears and Trey Hendrickson as well, potentially as a landing spot. Obviously, with the, year he had with Cincinnati. Everybody wants him right now. Bears filled 2 major holes for their offensive line in about a 24-hour period. Trade with the Rams, trade with the Chiefs. They still need a center. And if the tackles stay healthy, that's great, but a lot more work to do. Still got to find who the center is going to be on their line. And they need to look at potential defensive linemen. I would love to see a Khalil Mack reunion, though. There's been a lot of talk of a Khalil Mack reunion in Chicago. And that would work for me because I still got the man's jersey. So that would make the one active player that I have on the roster whose jersey I have, Khalil Mack.
There you go.
At 52, but we'll see. We'll see. Can't wait for a documentary 15 years from now where Bronny reveals how much he hated all of this.
But would his dad let him do it?
Yeah.
It would ruin his legacy even more.
It'll be like Bronny's last dance, basically. It'll just be about how LeBron's a fucking bitch. I feel sympathy for Bronny legitimately. Not because I think he's got a bad life. He has a more blessed life than virtually anyone in the world. And he's getting opportunities that he doesn't deserve, right? But I feel sympathy for him because the only reason we're looking at him this much and criticizing and expecting this much is because of all the things his father has done and said and continues to do and say, which he can't really control. And that sucks. That sucks. Kenny Curvecock. You guys should run an NCAA tourney bracket group with all of us fellow retards competing against each other. I 100% want to actually do that this year. 1000%. Right now, let's call it. We're going to be doing a March Madness bracket group. We have to do one. So,
hell yeah.
We'll do a Sports Wars March Madness bracket group. Conference tournaments start this week. So that's going to be right around the corner. Let's see. NCAA men's schedule. Let's see. When does because they do start this week, right? Yeah, 100% they do start this week. So conference tournaments are going to be going on throughout this week and this weekend, which are obviously going to be a big deal and going to affect seeding in the NCAA tournament. And then NCAA tournament will be right after that. So that'll come around soon. Men's, yes, of course we're going to do men's only. Why the fuck would we do a women's bracket? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Virginian, I do hope Bronny improves. He's shown flashes. I mean, he's shown flashes in the G League.
Not in the NBA.
Yeah, but not in the NBA. And that's the thing. For a guy like that, he needs reps. He needs to develop. That's what he needs. And he's never going to get that by doing this gay-ass fucking come to the NBA game to sit on the bench for fucking 45 minutes and go in when we're down 20 points for a handful of minutes. He's not going to get better that way. Craig Morning for 5. As a father and a hooper, what LeBron did to his son is humiliating. I don't think Bronny could hang with me or the guys I play pickup games with, to be honest. Craig Morning, I think that Bronny could probably definitely hang with you. Never seen you play, Craig. Never seen you play. But I do think Bronny could probably hang with you. It's just a guess, though. Just a guess. But like I said, Isaiah Thomas, is putting up crazy numbers in the G League right now. And he's been washed from the NBA for years. You know? So, we'll see. Someday, Bronny. Someday. But I think that's all we got to talk about today, guys. We had UFC, little LeBron, some NBA news. No chance. I'm a man. I'm 40. Thanks, Craig.
Hell yeah.
Beardo, what do you got going on, man?
Nothing much. Just chilling. I think tomorrow night over on Geeks and Gamers Locals, we'll be watching some NHL.
There you
That's
go.
about it.
Yeah, so go check out Geeks and Gamers Locals because we do plan on doing those for big UFC events.
Yep.
You guys do wrestling reactions there, and some more sporting events down the line. And we do that on Locals because we can get away with actually watching it with you guys. Whereas if we streamed it to YouTube, we'd get absolutely destroyed. Like copyright immediately. You guys know how it goes, but we can do those watch parties over on Locals.
Yep. MLB opening day is in a few weeks. We're going to be doing like a day-long event for opening day, watching a few games over there.
Cubs and Dodgers are doing something. When is the thing in Japan that they're doing?
I don't know the exact date.
Yeah, they're doing something in Japan, like the Tokyo series. 4 exhibition games. Dodgers and the Cubs are going to be there.
Okay.
When March 15th. Let's see. March 18th and March 19th. So that's a little bit further away than I thought it was. I thought it was this week, but I guess it's the week after. But yes, Jokic haters. Listen, Nikola Jokic put up, I think, the first 30-20-20 game we've ever seen in history, which is kind of fucking crazy. It's almost crazy with his stats and the fact that he's averaging a triple-double again. He's probably not going to win MVP. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to win MVP. And although I do think that Nikola Jokic probably the best player in the world, I think that's probably right. Because Shai's having an incredible season and he's on the best team in the league. And that is a factor when you look at MVP stuff, and has been for a long time. So
I just seen this tweet from Shams, whatever his name is, NBA insider dude.
Yeah,
LeBron's gonna miss 2 weeks with that groin injury.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Confirmed.
Man. Stephen A. Smith got to him, man. Stephen A. Smith got in his head. Got in his head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but Dom, I'm taking off your fucking Yankees hat now. Thank you for the gift, buddy. I'm not a Yankees fan. Just want to make that clear. Ryan, been watching your Angel Unrivaled games. What? Does anyone understand what this means?
Ryan, been watching your Angel Unrivaled games.
Angel Reese Unrivaled
games. You've been watching my Angel Reese Unrivaled games. I have not been watching Angel Reese in the Unrivaled League. Stupid fucking slut. However, there is a fake story out there about Angel Reese that has been going viral. I think it was from NBA Central. They did a graphic that's like Angel Reese is like, we deserve to be paid just as much as the men. And although she probably does think that, it's like a fake quote that went absolutely nuclear. So it is what it is. And that's why I hate, this is a random rant. Grok and AI search results, and they're all dog shit. They're all bullshit. I can't tell you how many things that NBA Central, which you guys don't know, it's a parody account of NBA Central. Mm-hmm. They are famous for posting bullshit sports stories, and sometimes people talk about them, and sometimes they spread like they're real. I can't tell you how many I've seen just in the last couple of days of Grok confirming stories are real that NBA Central made up, because Grok is dog shit, just like any of these AI things. They just go off what people are talking about. They're not actually like fact-checking shit. So stop using Grok as a fact-checker. Doesn't matter if you're talking about Black Snape or if you're talking about sports stories. Like, Grok confirmed that that Pereira had dropped out of the main event or something like that. A fake story that was out there 24 hours before it happened. And Grok was like, yeah, everybody's talking about it. It's confirmed. It wasn't. Grok is retarded. AI is retarded. just for the record. But that's a different story. All right, guys. That is going to be it for us. Thanks for hanging out today over here on Sports Wars. We'll be back next Sunday, and we will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.